Check out my morning view. Oh, that's pretty nice. I'm at the city park and they ran the sprinklers last night. That was interesting. It got a little wet, but it was pretty warm, so it's all good. City park, pretty nice. I have this situation to figure out, which is that the morning is nice and cool, which it would be nice to ride in the morning from like 6 to 10 would be some really nice weather. But in the morning, often my stuff is super wet. Today it's wet because there was a sprinkler, but it's often wet because of dew. And so then I end up kind of like waiting around, hanging out, letting the sun come up, drying out my stuff. And so then I'm not riding during the coolest hours of the morning. So I have this idea that if I just pack it up wet and get on the road, that then I can like stop during the day and maybe roll out my tent and let that dry or something. Or that maybe I set it up in the evening and it's kind of hot in the evening, so it would dry out in the evening anyway. So I'm gonna try that today. I'm just gonna put my tent away wet and see what happens. As you may have noticed, my breakfast game has not been on point. So I bought some oatmeal, despite not really liking oatmeal. I couldn't think of anything better. So I got these packets of organic maple and brown sugar oatmeal. I think part of why I had issues with oats in the past is that like a serving of oatmeal is like 150 calories. It's not very much, and especially if you eat that before you're about to go out and be active, it's not enough fuel. And the thing I've always hated about oats is that I feel like I'm starving like an hour after I eat them. Like it just doesn't sustain me. My normal breakfast is usually eggs and bacon, maybe some cheese on there, probably veggies from the night before. And if I'm gonna be active, I'll throw in also some carbohydrates like potatoes, or maybe throw it into a gluten-free tortilla or toast, or I'll add carbs essentially if I know I'm gonna be active and I want that extra boost. So I found over the last couple years that I really prefer like a more high-fat, high-protein breakfast, because it just stays with me longer. I'm not starving before lunchtime. And the thing I found with a high carb breakfast like oatmeal is that it does not keep me full, and I'm really unpleasantly hungry, like hangry. Like my blood sugar kind of gets on this roller coaster thing. And I've read places that that's kind of the case, is that a high carb breakfast does sort of put you on a blood sugar roller coaster. So my strategy with these oats was, first of all, to use 2 packets of oats. So that already puts me at 300 calories. Then I threw in some raisins for another 120 calories. And then I threw in probably a solid 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So that's another 190 calories. So that's 4, 5, 90. That's almost 600 calories. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. I just left Kooskia and I'm on my way to Laksa Lodge. I don't know how to say it. Man, I'm in like the best mood this morning. I don't even know what it is. I did get a little bit earlier start than usual. I was pedaling by like 8 a.m., which isn't even that early, but I haven't been getting out till about an hour later. So the air is still pretty cool, which is nice. I'm still wearing like long sleeves. And I'm riding along this river, which is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And like, it's so interesting. There's these highs and lows. And sometimes I just feel a little bit crabby maybe, or just like, meh, this is dumb, or like judgmental or something, like food is shitty. Yeah, and then there's some moments where I'm just like, dang, there is nothing in the world that I would rather be doing than this right now. And just like so excited about my next couple days. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Missoula, I guess. And I'm only a couple days away from there. And then I'm not really even sure what's after that. Just enjoying the feeling of the breeze and the sound of the birds and the river. And so I am in Lowell. These are the last services until Loxa Lodge, and it's still, I want to say like 68 or so, maybe 64, I forget the exact number. It's pretty uphill, flat, but it's quite a different profile, and let me show you what I mean. That was a good climb. That's this pretty long climb. Another climb, like that was my climb yesterday. But then this climb that I'm doing today, you can see that it's much more drawn out and not as steep. So what I'm wondering is if I'm gonna maintain higher speeds, and maybe I can pull off 80 something miles today. My longest day so far has been 72 miles, and that was because it had a lot of downhill and flat that day. So I'm gonna ride just as far as my little legs will carry me. Oh yeah, and I just met this cyclist going the opposite way. His name is Rob, and he's like doing a blog, so he took my photo. And I was like telling him, yeah, like I don't think I'll get all the way to Loxa Lodge tonight, so I might just camp in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, oh, do you have bear spray? And I'm like, yeah, I got the bear spray, but I don't want to have to use it. I don't want there to be bears. So I made it to the hot springs. It was about like a 60-mile ride. I don't know, I haven't looked at my Garmin yet. But yeah, I rode probably around 60 something miles today, maybe 65. And went to some hot springs, had some chats with some people who were there. And then I came back to set up my tent and cook dinner. And I remembered that I put my tent away wet. So I just hung it up on a line. Letting that dry out while I prepare my dinner, and I think it'll work out actually. I think it dries fast enough, and the evening air is a little bit like, I don't know, drier than the morning air. That makes no sense, but it does seem like it's gonna dry out in plenty of time before I go to bed. This is a pretty good dinner. I haven't been cooking a whole lot of my own dinners because I've been eating a lot of diner food, but I have this vegan black bean and lime soup, which wasn't that good, and this Spanish style rice, which also wasn't very good, but when I mix them together, oh yeah, that's delicious. And the whole meal will be like close to 800 calories, so, and lots of carbs. So that should do it. I don't know, just something. Look at this. Just look at this damn river. Like, how could you not just want to go jump in that? Whew, that's cold water. Yeah.